I began to dread the aftermath of my addiction. Each episode was followed by a fallout of bad luck, and I could not explain and understand why. I was trapped in this cycle of self-indulgence and regret, with no apparent way out of masturbation. Welcome guys to another episode here on K Spencer TV. Brothers and sisters, this is a sad story of a very bad addiction affecting the lives of a lot of people, destroying them. I was a victim of it. This brother sent this story and is searching for solutions. He will be in the comment section listening for any advice. I am 50 years old. I have never been married because of masturbation. It is a startling admission, isn't it? But that is the raw truth of my life. My name is unimportant, but what matters is my story, a tale of addiction and the havoc it has wreaked on my life. There is no easy way to say this, but I have been addicted to masturbation since my teenage years. At first, it felt like a harmless indulgence, a secret pleasure, but as the years rolled on by, it became a compulsive need, an insatiable hunger. This addiction, this obsession is not just about the physical act, it is about the toll it takes on your life, your relationship, and your ambition. It becomes an unseen monster that slowly devours everything you hold dear. I am here to share my story, to expose the ugly truth of this addiction, and to show you how it crept into my life and consumed it. This is just the beginning of how masturbation ruined my life. Every time I masturbated, it seems like a bad luck followed me. It was as if my actions were drawing in an unfortunate energy that I could not shake off. Every job application I went for was met with rejection, no matter how qualified I was for that position. The words "we regret to inform you" became a haunting phrase in my life. It wasn't just professional setbacks though. Personal misfortune seemed to become the norm. I did lose my keys, miss important appointments, or even trip and twist my ankle while out on a jog. It was almost comical the way misfortune seemed to tag along with me like an unwelcome companion. I began to dread the aftermath of my addiction. Each episode was followed by a fallout of bad luck, and I could not explain and understand why. I was trapped in this cycle of self-indulgence and regret, with no apparent way out of masturbation. It had become a pillar of misfortune. Every night, I dreamt of myself going back to my old college, a symbol of my stagnancy. It is a peculiar feeling, isn't it, to be trapped in a time and place you have long since outgrown. Yet, there I was every night, back in those worn-out hallways, reliving the same old things over and over again. My dream should have been a refuge, a place to escape the trials of the day, but they were just a cage, a mirror reflecting back at me my own lack of progression. Please subscribe, like, comment and share. Help this channel grow so we can reach more people and change lives. You are helping this channel and also contributing to making this world a better place. Back to my story. My addiction was just not part of my waking life, but it had also seeped into my dreams, turning them into a never-ending circle of regression and stagnation. I was stuck not just in my dreams but in my reality as well. It is like if I was in a treadmill, constantly running but never actually getting anywhere. I was stuck in a loop both in my dreams and in my reality. I was unable to maintain any relationship, let alone get married. The truth is that my addiction cast a long shadow over every romantic connection I attempted to cultivate. It was as if I was trying to build a house on a shaky foundation. The structure would crumble before it would even take shape. The women in my life could sense something was off. They may not know the exact nature of my struggle, but they felt the distance it created, the late night hours spent alone, the distractedness during our conversation, the lack of intimacy. They all added to a relationship that was more of a illusion than reality. Every time I thought I found love, my addiction would rear its ugly head, reminding me of my continuous battle. It was like an unwanted guest at a party, always lurking in the background, ready to spoil the festivities. The addiction was always there, pushing people away. I lost every job I got because I was always caught masturbating during hours. It is a statement that still stings even after all these years. I I did land a job, promising myself that this time it would be different. But before I knew it, my addiction will rear its ugly head, and I lost every job because I was always caught masturbating during work hours. This was very embarrassing. The shame, the embarrassment that followed each dismissal was overwhelming. My colleagues would look at me differently. Whispers will fill the office, then followed by the pink slip. Even when I found employment in places that showed understanding, I knew my addiction was a ticking time bomb. It wasn't a matter of if, but when. But the worst part wasn't the loss of income or the humiliation. It was the realization that I was allowing my addiction to destroy my professional life, just as it has destroyed my personal one. My addiction didn't just cost me my personal life, it cost me my professional life, I swear. I couldn't focus on anything good. My mind was always elsewhere. And addiction has a way of clouding one's mind like a fog, and it descends, obscuring the path ahead. My addiction to masturbation was no different. It was as if I was living in a perpetual haze, unable to concentrate on the positive aspect of life. My thoughts, my focus were all consumed by this addiction. I could not take joy in the simple pleasures of life, like a beautiful sunset, a good book, the laughter of a child. These things should have brought happiness, but they didn't. They could not when my mind was elsewhere, trapped in the clutches of addiction. The world around me was in vibrant color, but I saw it in shades of gray. I was living in a fog with no clear path in sight. I was lost in my own world, a world that was dominated by my addiction. In that world, there was no room for anything good. I wasted all my money on porn subscriptions just to satisfy my masturbation needs. That is a statement that still rings in my ear, echoing the bitter truth of my past. The financial drain was real. It was heavy. The money I should have invested in myself, my future, or maybe even a family, was all poured into this pit of fleeting pleasure. Every payday was another day of recklessness as I handed over my hard-earned cash to purchase more and more explicit content. The vicious circle was relentless. The more I spent, the deeper I was drawn into this destructive habit. Before I knew, my bank account was a barren wasteland. I was surviving on a bare minimum, scraping with a little I had left after feeding my addictions. I was constantly in debt, always borrowing and never saving. I was drowning financially, all because my addiction and the cost was too high. Yet I paid it willingly, time and time again. My addiction stripped me of any motivation or drive. The zest of life, the spark that used to ignite my passion, slowly faded away. Every moment was clouded by this addiction, an addiction that had me firmly in its grasp and wouldn't let go. It was like being stuck in a dark tunnel with no light at the end. My ambition was replaced by this compulsive need. My dreams, my aspiration, the drive to improve, to create, to grow, all replaced by an overpowering urge. It was as if I was caught in a quicksand of my own making. Every struggle pulled me deeper into the abyss of this addiction, made me complacent, content with mediocrity. The exciting challenges of life offered turned into mundane tasks, and the world became a grey canvas, no longer vibrant and colorful. I was no longer the star of my own story, spectator watching as life passed by. My life has become a shell of what it once was. I'm sharing this story not for sympathy, but for help. My journey has been a painful one, filled with regret and loss, and I believe in the power of change, the power of redemption. I have seen the havoc that this addiction has wreaked in my life, and I'm ready to break free. I have spent too many years trapped in this circle, unable to escape. My life has been a series of disappointment, of failures. I have had enough. I am tired of this shame, the guilt, and the regrets. I know that I can't do this alone. I need your help. If you know of any resources, any program, any strategies that could help me overcome this addiction, please share them. I'm ready to reclaim my life, to finally break free from this prison. I'm ready to change. So please help me. This is a story sent by a brother here. If you have any solution or have encountered this problem and survived it, please share your experiences or method used in beating this addiction in the comment section. Thank you, brothers and sisters. I'll see you soon.